Here is laws of Shabbat. 4 o'clock, good. Okay, wonderful. Yes, here we are in the laws of Shabbat. Let's try to get one law here. Learned. It is permissible to say to a non-Jew on Shabbat to make food, cook up food for a child that has not got anything to eat. Child is hungry. You can tell a non-Jew, cook up some food for him, kosher food. Shestam tzorech katan, dinam katzorech chola she'en lo sakana. Because a child, if a child desires something, it's like the law of a sick person. He's sick, but he's not in danger. In that case, we learned that you can tell a non-Jew to do things for him. And it's permissible to give him to eat muktzah. Muktzah, even with your hands. You can give him muktzah if it's not possible in anything else. What does it mean? Muktzah, you have, let's say, food that you set aside for selling. You were only going to sell it. You weren't going to, the child says that he wants this bar of chocolate. Say, no, you can't give it to you. It's muktzah. Muktzah was set aside only to sell. I want it. You can give it to him. You can touch it. You can give it to him. It's a rabbinical thing. You're not allowed to transgress the rabbis. So he said, you can do it. You can feed him food that's muktzah if it's impossible any other way. I don't remember if we did olive. Yeah, we did this. Okay. What did I do? Cuff base. Kav Gimel. They did not permit you. You are not allowed to tell a non-Jew to cook up food for let's say, a person that's sick on Shabbos, or what we said, we just finished saying, a hungry child. This is only for the necessities of Shabbos. But you can't tell a non-Jew to cook food for Motzi Shabbos. Let's say, for instance, grandpa, he has to eat every 2 hours a hot meal. And right 2 hours before Shabbat, that's his last meal. So you tell the non-Jew on Shabbat to cook up food for grandpa that it'll be ready 5 minutes after Shabbat finishes. That's okay. Can't do it. Forbidden. You can only cook up food that is necessary. A non-Jew can do things for a sick person only to be used on Shabbat, but you can't do things to prepare for Motzi Shabbat. Listen, unless it was such a thing that you have to prepare now. His life is in danger. If his life was in danger, right? Motzi Shabbat. Oh, well, let's see. Hiki's dam. Okay, we don't do this nowadays, but it used to be a very common practice, and it just fell out of practice. I don't know why they used to do it. I guess it used to work at one time. What's the idea behind it? People, either if they had high blood pressure, or a lot of times if a person was sick, so it was because at least what the doctor would say, he had bad blood. So they would let out his blood, and then he would be very weak, and then he would eat. It would be new blood, renewed the blood. And it must have worked, because they wouldn't have done it if it didn't work to a certain degree. But there were a little bit complications. After a person ate, did have his blood let, it's called Haki's dam, sometimes the person would become very, very cold. Cold inside, cold, because blood is hot, it's warm. A person who has blood let, therefore he becomes what is called anemic, right? So therefore he hasn't got enough warmth in his body. This is dangerous. if a person had his blood let, let's say right before Shabbos, and you're not supposed to really do that, but he had his blood let right before Shabbos, and he became cold from the bloodletting. So this is a danger of his life. And you can make a fire for him on Shabbos. I feel b'tekufas tamos, even if it's boiling hot outside. But any other sick person, even though he's in danger, that not always, it could be that a person who is sick, he has the flu or something, and the cold makes him uncomfortable, but the cold is not dangerous to his life. Why? To the point where you have to make a fire for him. Because there's other ways of warming him up. You can heat him up with garments, put on a few more quilts or blankets. Therefore, we don't allow you to make a fire for a sick person that's life is not in danger, or even if his life is in danger, but you can do something else. You can put blankets on him, except by means of non-Jews. Elim Cain, unless Ainsham, what if there are no garments there? Okay, so what do we have over here? We have Grandpa is cold. He's shivering in bed. Grandpa is cold. He's shivering in bed. And he's already sick. He has something else, who knows what. And he's got another disease, and he's shivering in bed. And it's dangerous for him. So they say, okay, you know what? Let's turn on the heater a little bit more. Turn on the heater a little bit more. This is 1 second. It's possible just to put blankets on him. If you put more blankets on him, that'll heat him up. If that'll do the job, then we can't light a fire. The only time we will allow him to light a fire is if there was a bloodletting. He had his blood let, and because of that, he feels cold because of the lack of blood. Then you can light a fire. Turn on the furnace. Well, only those people say that any sick person that's got a sakana, that you can do everything by means of a Jew, anything that's used to be doing in the weekday. In other words, you don't have to try to find a non-Jew to do it. Or remember, we had that argument before. Even though that they manias bedavra hu sakana, to those people that say that any time that you have to transgress the Shabbos for a sick person, that it's better that a Jew should do it than a non-Jew. Why? Because so that everyone will see that if someone is in danger, that you can negate the Shabbat. And they won't say the next time someone's in danger, hey, we have to find a non-Jew. Maybe there's not a non-Jew around. So for those people that say that it's better always to if you have to do something on Shabbat to save a person, it's better that a Jew should do it. If it's a Jew that's in danger. The sick person is in danger. Nevertheless, mutar lasot lo akan kain medur al yidei Yisrael kadarka b'chol. Then according to this person, anytime Grandpa gets cold, even if you could put blankets on him, you don't have to run around and say, is this enough? Is this enough? Turn up the heater. And we already explained above what we should do in these countries. This is our countries, said the countries where we are, our custom is we try to find a non-Jew, if we can. And if not, then the Jew does it on himself. I mean, that's the way it's done over here. I've never heard of a case, I've never heard of a case where a person that's sick and the rabbi personally accompanies him, or the rabbi says, find a religious Jew to accompany him. I mean, maybe you know something. I've never heard of a case like that. They always try, as much as possible. A non-Jew, they don't do it because there's no, really friendship over here between Jews and non-Jews. But if there was a person that had a non-Jew that worked in his house and that was really trustworthy and that, he cared about the person, then you would have a non-Jew do it on Shabbat. Let's do one more. You can't put wine inside of a person's eye. Now, this is sometimes a healing that people, let's say, what is it, pink eye or something. Anyway, you can't do anything that looks like you're healing. Because it's clearly obvious that you're intending to heal someone, and you can't do that on Shabbos if the person is not in danger. But it's permissible to put wine on top of a closed eye. Because then it looks like he's just sort of maybe washing off the, what is it called, the dirt from his eye. It doesn't look like he's intending to heal himself. And this is when, if he doesn't open and close his eye. But if he puts it on his eye and immediately he opens and closes his eye, so you can see that the reason he put on the eye was for healing, then if the person is not in any sort of a danger, or if he's not bedridden, then you can't do it. It's usher. In any case, nowadays that nobody washes their eyes with wine, for sure it's forbidden in any case. If you're intending for healing. So it's a big question. A person has pink eye. They used to have people had an infection in the eye, and it's not a dangerous thing. It's just very uncomfortable. So you can't do anything. It used to be a custom. I think it works. I think I did it a few times, and it works. You take a tea bag and put it on the eye. Well, here he says that if a person is not in any danger whatsoever, and he's not really sick, it's just uncomfortable, then you can't do anything that looks like you're healing. You couldn't put a tea bag on the eye. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'm going to learn with Nathaniel, right? Tesla. Spit, that is, let's say, what do they call it? That's not plain. Plain spit. Tafel means it's ordinary spit. What does it mean, plain spit? Tafel, like unspiced spit. It's ordinary plain spit. What does that mean? Kol shalotam klum mishinir mishinoso. If a person did not taste anything from when he woke up, this spit that comes out is strong and it heals. Or if his spit was tested and it does heal. In any case, you can't put it even on top of the outside of the eye. Why? She'enu nira karochetz. Nobody washes their eyes off with spit. She'en derech l'rchotz barok. Mipenei mi'isaso, because it's disgusting. But if a person washes his mouth out with water first, and afterwards he takes this water from his mouth and he puts it on his eye, even though there happens to be a little bit of this, whatever, plain spit inside of it, right? In other words, he didn't taste anything. He has the spit in his mouth. It has healing properties, but you can't use it because that's all the only reason you would put spit on an eye is because of the healing properties. And we're talking about a person now that he's not really that sick, right? It's just his eye hurts him or something. So a person like that, you can't put spit on the eye because it looks like you're healing. But what about, let's say, if the spit is mixed up in water, you wash your mouth out with a little bit of water, and the spit is in there, then that's okay. Because it's not so disgusting, musim, that a person will wash off an eye with it. It's mixed up. In other words, it's not necessary that the only reason he's doing this strange thing is to heal. Could be that maybe he's washing his eye off with this water with spit in. What happens if a person wakes up in the morning and he's not able to open up his eye? It's like stuck together, the sand in your eyes. Then it's permissible to wash it off even with spit alone, because it's only forbidden if you intend for healing. But here you're not intending for healing, you're only intending to open the eye that is stuck closed. And that is today's class. See you. Now listen, Yochanan, if you want to, we learn a sikha tomorrow from 8:15 in the morning until 9. And that's it. That's the morning class. pick another Sikha from the Rebbe, and we learn it from 8:15 to 9, so you'll have what to say at the Shabbos dinner table. Okay, God bless you. Hope to see you tomorrow. Okay, shalom. 8:15 tomorrow morning, I hope. All right, ready? Here we go. Let's just close this down over here. Close this down. Close